Money, money, money. Welcome to Ghana Money TV, where we give you tips, tools, and deals. And in this channel, we seek to be providing you with financial services and products information across the country and review some of the best prices you can get. If this is the first time you're joining us, please subscribe, join us on Facebook and Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. In this video, we want to be discussing Uber and TAXIS. Uber came to Ghana in 2016 as a means of transportation. So, all that you need to do is, as long as you have an Android phone, whether it's Samsung, LG, Nokia, all the other Android phones, or you have on the iOS, that's iPhone, you can have access to Uber. So, or that's the Uber's module. As long as you have those phones and you go and download the application, you will be able to use the platform. Number one, how it is easy for you to be able to go from one particular location to your destination, whether you are going to use Uber or taxi. So, traditionally, this is what we've all been used to. If you want to move from wherever you are, whether it's in your house or in your school or wherever you want to move from, you just arrange with a taxi driver who you already have their number, or you have already pre-arranged. And then what he does is, the taxi driver, you will find out whenever you want to move, he will come and pick you from your location. Mostly what we do is, whenever we're ready to move, we go onto the streets, then we pick the taxi from there. So that is how we know traditionally. What Uber does is, as long as you have the application, whenever you're ready, you go onto the platform, you put in your location, then your destination, then information will be sent across the Uber network of vehicles. That is the registered cars that are on the Uber platform. Somebody will accept, a driver will accept, then they would be moving towards your location. So the driver will actually come to where you are. They will come and pick you at your doorstep. So that is number one. That is the difference. Uber comes to your doorstep. You don't need to know the number of the driver. You don't need to know any details of the driver that is coming to pick you before you book. The moment the driver accepts that he's coming to pick you up, you can track it. You can track that the driver is coming to you through the platform. You know the number of the driver. You know the name of the driver. You can actually call the driver. The interesting thing is, you can also cancel before the driver comes to you, and the driver can also cancel the journey. So that is number one. Number two, the type of vehicles. So you see that traditionally in the taxis, they have various vehicles. You can get various ranges, sizes, small, bigger sizes, the saloons. So you have various, the ranges are the options are there. So you realize that if you want to move, you can either choose the saloon, the small cars, the caravans, the hatchbacks, and that is what the taxis give us. We can choose, there's a choice. However, what Uber is giving us now in Ghana is that they are using the smaller vehicles. And that becomes a problem, because supposing you are traveling from your home, going to the station or going to the airport with luggage, heavy load, you realize that it is not easy for them to fit it in their small vehicles. At the moment, they are using cars like Matrix. They are using the Kias, and they are using some of the very small vehicles that we know in the country. And that doesn't help so much, because not all of us will be traveling light. Some people traveling. For me personally, I had an experience whereby I was traveling, and when the Uber driver came, I couldn't fit because my luggage was bigger, or I had more than it could fit. And so that is number two, the difference of the vehicles that Uber is giving us as against the taxis. Number three, the fare structure, the payment of the rate, how much you're going to pay and how you're going to pay it. The fare structure. You realize that negotiations are very key when it comes to the traditional taxis. You need to be able to get your negotiation skills on point. All you do is, when the driver comes, you need to be able to discuss and agree upon a fare. What happens is that is not set. And so sometimes the same journey that you made before, you end up paying more, and sometimes you can actually pay less. So it's got to do with individual negotiations. And I don't really understand even the process of how the drivers charge with the traditional taxis, because sometimes you're going from A to B, they charge you a specific fare, the next taxi driver will charge you more or less. So when it comes to the traditional taxis, you need to bring on board your negotiation skills. With Uber, it gives you an idea how much you are going to be charged on a particular journey, because it calculates the distance, and it actually puts in place a lot of conditions, or it has a way of letting you know how much it's going to cost you a particular journey. So before you even accept the journey, there will be a figure on the platform that tells you an estimate how much you're going to pay. Sometimes when you are in, let's say, a congestion, when there's a lot of traffic on the road, there is a little adjustment before you get to your destination. So you realize that the figure that came before you accepted, it can change. They have to vary it. And so you have to be aware. Sometimes when you get to your destination, you realize that the figure is changed. Mostly it doesn't, as long as there isn't a lot of congestion or there's traffic on the roads. And anybody who's used Uber will tell you that it does happen, possibly because of traffic conditions on the road. So that is the difference. You have to negotiate on the traditional taxis, whereas Uber, you can't. You actually know the specific charge before you take the journey. Number 4, traveling experience. Traveling experience. How do you feel when you take a Uber vehicle or you use the traditional taxis? And we are talking about things like customer service, the mood of the driver, the experience, how the neatness of the car, how the driver will talk to you. I mean, how would you feel when you use a Uber as against a traditional taxi? And from my personal experience, I don't see much difference, because we are dealing with our own kind of people. However, for Uber, it is not like you have professional drivers. Uber is a sharing platform where the drivers come from various sorts of lives. But the journey experience, it's nothing different. We can't say so much when we're comparing the two, because I think that both systems, they need to improve on their customer service. So when you use a taxi, sometimes you would get a good service. You would get a service where you would actually feel that, yes, this taxi driver was good. You actually recommend it to people. You try and collect the number so that you can actually use the taxi driver again. The same as Uber, you can get a good service from them. You can get a good service from the taxi drivers, the Uber service drivers, when they come and pick you and then take you to your destination. However, you can also get a bad service from both. And so all that we are saying is both systems, they need to improve so the Ghanaians will be able to get a good service, because it is this traveling experience that will actually let people want to come for the service. So both of them need to improve on their service for Ghanaians to have good traveling experience. Then the 5th one is security and safety, and that is very, very key. Nobody wants to travel on a vehicle from a location to a destination feeling that they are not safe, or they are not secured. And it is something that we need to consider when we are making a choice, because all that you want as a bare minimum is to move from your location to your destination. The bare possible minimum is for you to be in the same condition. Your physical being should be intact. So we are looking at things like you don't want to have any injuries. You don't want to experience any conditions whereby you are not safe. You are feeling like you feel threatened, and that is why we are talking about health, safety, and security. When you compare the two systems, you realize that they are both operating in the same. The road conditions are the same, the environment are the same. The cars that they are using are nothing different, because some of them are new, some of them are not new, they are old, and so there's not much difference that we can talk about this. However, what Uber is saying is, now they've introduced a personal insurance policy. They've linked up with one of the insurance companies in Ghana, providing their customers or their riders personal insurance policy that will cover things like accidents. Supposing when you're traveling with Uber and you have an accident, they will compensate you for injuries that you sustain on the road. If I mean, God forbid, if there's any death, then you would be compensated for permanent disability and all the various accidents that happens in within the journey. And that is very, very key. What I want us to be able to look at is it doesn't mean that the taxis that are already there, they don't have this in their policy. It will be very strange for them to have a car insurance that doesn't have this kind of policy. However, this is Uber. Uber is telling us exactly what they are publicizing. It's a market strategy. They are letting us know what is there. If the traditional taxis and their insurance policies cover this, we don't know. I don't know. I don't know about you. And it would be very, very nice for somebody to comment or inbox me on this channel for us to see whether it is available, because what we need to know is maybe people are not claiming, or we need to be able to publicize this so it doesn't become like the traditional taxi drivers are at a disadvantage because Uber is introducing this particular insurance policy. So when you are making a decision to travel, I wanted you to know about these five elements or these 5 points and make a decision whether you use Uber or taxi. And I hope that this will help. Thank you for watching. We are here just to give you the best information that you can get in Ghana in terms of making choices of products and services. And thank you that you are watching us. Follow us once again, subscribe to the channel, and let's just get the discussion going. Thank you.